Hello, everybody, and welcome to our podcast, Welcome to Livingston, where we invite local businesses, people, and organizations in to talk about what they are giving to our community. My name is Don Paquette.
And I'm Angela Paquette, and we're with the Paquette Group Real Estate Professionals. As realtors and brokerage owners, we bring valuable insight into the local market and community every week. Thanks for listening, and welcome to Livingston.
Welcome to another episode of our podcast, Welcome to Livingston, where we invite local businesses and causes to come on and talk about what's coming up with them. My name is Don Paquette.
And I'm Angela Paquette, and we're with the Paquette Group Real Estate Professionals.
Yes, and before we get started today, I just wanted to take a quick moment to talk about our sponsor. So today's episode of the Welcome to Livingston podcast is brought to you by our valued sponsor, Jim Paquette, with Lake Michigan Credit Union. He is a trusted mortgage lender who has lived and worked in our community for many years. Jim Paquette is dedicated to helping our neighbors achieve their homeownership dreams and is proud to support the local businesses that make our area special.
Great. Now, this is fun because sometimes we do businesses for the most part, but other times we do events and causes, and this is kind of an event and a cause. So this is really fun. I'm excited.
Yeah, so we're so happy to welcome with us today Jeff Waterman, who's the pastor with the Well Church, and Scott DesAutel. And they are coming to us today to talk about Hockey Night 2025, a great event that's been around for a long time and is coming up here shortly. So welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. So who wants to field the question of what is Hockey Night 2025?
Well, I think Scott should field that. It was Scott came to me a long time ago, decade plus, and had this crazy idea of Hockey Night, what is now Hockey Night. So it's his brainchild, and it's been his baby the whole time. So I think he should tell us what it is.
It's a cool idea. So.
And if he misses anything, I'll color it.
He'll get me.
There you go.
So Hockey Night 2025 is our 16th annual Detroit Red Wing charity event that we've been producing here through the Well Church. Started in 2010, was our first year doing it. And it's a way for us to give back to the community. We had a bunch of guys at the Well Church that were hockey players, including myself, and we got together and we were kind of brainstorming, what can we do with this great game that we have grown up, love playing, but how can we make it so it's a give back to the community? And I approached Jeff and the leadership at the Well one year and said, hey, I got this idea. They looked at me and said, you're crazy. We can't pull anything like that off. We're just this little tiny church here in Brighton. And I said, okay, well, let's think about it and what can we do? Came back the next year, and Jeff and I had a conversation, and he asked me, how do we pull this off? What's your thoughts? We did that one year. Year one turned into year two, turned into year 5, and now we're up to year 16 of giving back 100% of all of our proceeds back to the community and organizations here in Livingston County that we love.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
That is just amazing. And, we'd heard about this event, through other people and such through the years. So I'm so happy to be able to sit down with you guys. But one of the things I've always wanted to ask, so, it's a charity hockey event. You guys, I saw on your thing that you've given like over $250,000 through 15 years now, this year being year number 16. But what's unique about it is you're bringing in Red Wing alum to play against. How do you make that connection, like to go from, hey, we're going to have this hockey event to now we're looking at you're playing against, alumni, professional players. It's just amazing that they want to give their time to have this amazing event.
So the Red Wing Alumni Association started in 1959. So they started back in 1959 of having this group of alumni to get together and better their community as well. So they've had this program, for a long period of time. And then, now they have a fee that they charge to us for them to come out and play in the game. But that fee also goes to their organizations that they're helping. They have a set number of organizations and things that they're passionate about that helps their causes. It's just a matter of we got in touch with the Red Wing Alumni Association, kind of told them what we'd like to do, and they're like, yep, we're out there.
Awesome. How fun. Because certainly in Livingston County, there are a lot of hockey fans, a lot of hockey players. Hockey's a very big deal.
Absolutely.
It is. And for some of these people that get an option to play in the game, I mean, that's like a childhood fantasy for them.
Yeah. I remember I had a chance to play, and I lined up across from Mickey Redmond.
Oh my
and
gosh.
so it was, I remember Mick back in the day, and of course hearing him on TV. And he's the only one out there without a helmet, because everybody's wearing helmets. Because he played back in the day with no helmets. And he looks at me and he says, "You want to go?" And I'm like, Redmond's going to kick my butt right here, right now. We're dropping gloves, and it's a ball to play with these guys. I was on the team, and they looked at me and said, "Hey, do you have any, have you scored a goal yet?" I'm like, "No," because I got to play on their team this one year.
Wow.
And so Wayne Presley says, "All right, go to the front of the net, put your stick on the ice." And I said, "And then what do I do?" He says, "Don't worry about it." So I put my stick on the ice. He comes flying down the edge. He passes it over. It hits my stick and goes in the net. Goal.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a
Yeah,
lot of fun.
Year one we played, and we went back to the church, and we had our dinner and our auction going on. And the president of the Red Wing Alumni Association is a local gentleman named Dennis Hextall, and he played in the 70s for the Red Wings and played for some other teams. Well, he stood up at our event and he said, "You guys can auction off a spot to someone in this room that wants to be on the Red Wings team next year to play against the Well team." And we've done that ever since. And it's been one of the greatest things that, Jeff's been able to be a Red Wing with a Waterman jersey on. And I've never been able to do it yet. It's on my bucket list. But just that, for people in the community they get to put on a Red Wing sweater for one day and go out there and play with the Wings against us. It's a pretty cool thing.
That is very cool. So one of the things I noticed, because I was looking on your website and such, you guys have a lot going on in this than just the game. What are some of the other ways people get involved or events that they can give with this?
Well, at the game, we have all the fun game stuff. Like we do an event called Chuck a Puck. So at
cool.
halftime, you can take this puck and throw it out there and win prizes and all of that. We've got, we branched out to alumni, and the local teams, the local high school teams, so Heartland and Brighton and Howell, and then
Milford
and
Lakeland United
Lakeland.
team are going to play. They're going to play two games. Well, they're going to play a game on Friday night. Then the winners will play the pregame on Saturday before the Red Wing alumni game. And then we also have in between that game and the start of the Red Wing game, there's a group that is called Hockey Challenge Camp, and it's through the Arc of Livingston. Those kids are going to come out on the ice and do some shootout stuff. They're kids with different types of disabilities. So we'll see some kids with sleds. We'll see, kids in wheelchairs. We'll see some kids that will be on skates. But they're going to kind of do a little bit of a shootout, have some fun in between games, and we're going to try to raise awareness for their program and also get equipment that they need donated to that program to help those kids enjoy the game.
That sounds great.
Yep.
Well, just in the spirit of hockey, but just the community and Livingston and supporting those great causes.
And then after the game, we invite folks back to a VIP dinner where they can have dinner. A lot of times the alumni, the Red Wing alumni, come back and have dinner with us. And then there's obviously auctions and all that, raffles and things like that. So yeah, it's a full day. It's not just a game.
That is so cool. And I love that you're bringing in the alumni of the local high schools and such, because, hockey, it's one of those sports that, once they learn how to play, I mean, you're playing it throughout your life and you're going through different stages. There's the beer leagues and all that kind of stuff and everything. But to have that opportunity to get back on the ice with the people you played with in high school and to be able to, kind of have that rivalry with other schools again and such, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's one last chance for those guys to put on a Heartland or a Brighton jersey, whatever it may be, and play against the guys that they played against, 40, 20 years ago, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yep.
Neat. Now, in terms of the causes that you're supporting, in terms of the proceeds that are raised this year, which charities are those for 2025?
So for 2025, we've had one charity that has been with us for every event except for our first event, and that's the Livingston County Shop with a Cop program.
Oh, cool.
So we've been a part of that program, not only with this game and the funds that we support them with, but the church has also gotten behind that program at Christmas time when the officers are going shopping with the kids, and our church congregation has got together and we build stockings for the kids and give the kids stockings the day of the shopping. So they've been a big part of why we do this every year. Last year we brought in 2 new organizations, the Amber Redneck House and Torch 180 up in Fowlerville. And then this year we've brought in a new organization called Bendix Academy here in Brighton. So those are the other 3 that are kind of filling in the other beneficiaries for this year.
That's wonderful to be able to support so many great organizations that are all very local based.
Yep.
Right. And I just love, I looked online and I've heard of most of those before, but to be getting that local support for them, because it's those local donations that really keep these charities running. And that support is going locally to your friends, your neighbors, the people in your community that are in need of help.
Yeah. That's been a passion, is to try to unite our community to serve our community. Has been a passion
Awesome. I like that.
part of this event. So
Cool. So and how many people are involved in this, getting this organized? I mean, this is a big undertaking on a yearly basis, and then it's at a local ice rink, right? I don't think we've mentioned where it is yet.
it's at the Howell ice rink.
Which is now called the Ice Den 140. It's
Right.
the
I
former
keep
Grand
calling
Oaks
it Grand
Ice
Oaks Arena.
Yep.
Right, because that's what it was. Yeah.
That's what it was when I grew up. So
So they're hosting it this year. We kind of rotate where the game is every year. It's been at Brighton, it's been in Heartland, but the folks out in Howell wanted it this year, so we're going back there. The VIP dinner will be at Chemung Hills.
Great. That's very nice because we've certainly been to events there and it's wonderful.
Yeah, and it's nice, when we've been out this way for over 20 years now, but I had family that lived out this way that was very into hockey. And it's amazing how passionate the hockey community is in Livingston County. And there's more ice rinks than you think there are in the area. And I mean, and so many teams, the high school teams are great. The travel teams out here are great and everything. But it's a tight-knit community that really likes to give back as well.
absolutely, and that carries into the professional ranks too. All of the alumni that come out and play, the Red Wing alumni, they love to have fun at these events, and they love the idea that they gave back to the community that's given them so much. And so it's really a really good opportunity for people to use a game that they love to support a community that they love.
Very cool.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds great because it hits so good,
Yeah. It just makes you feel good, right?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
And you asked the question about how many people it takes to pull this off. Well, we try to dump as much as we can on Scott. Actually has a team of, there's like 8 of us that form the leadership team for it, that try to think up all the details. And then from there, there's probably 30 to 40 volunteers that come together on the day of the game, from setting up tables, tearing stuff down, selling raffle tickets and chuck-a-puck tickets, and lining up auction items and helping people check in and check out and take tickets, and security and all that kind of fun stuff that we've learned throughout the year. So yeah, it takes about between 30 and 40 people day of to pull it off.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a big event.
It is.
Good for you guys.
It's a big event.
That's awesome.
This year we're adding a side raffle for a 2025 Yamaha Wave Runner.
Ooh.
So we have some more people on our volunteer team that are going out and trying to sell those tickets to get this Wave Runner paid for, and that we will pull that one at the VIP dinner this year. So that's something that we're trying new this year. We need some help definitely with selling tickets, but we're excited that there's an opportunity that God placed in our heart to increase what we can give.
Yeah.
That's outstanding. Now, in terms of that, do you have to be present to win? Or
No.
People okay.
No.
And so for any of our listeners out there, whether they come and attend the event or not, the nice part is that would be a great way to get involved and help support the cause.
Yeah, it's definitely a great way that, if you can't make the day of the game and don't have an opportunity to do a sponsorship, but you want to help out in some way, somehow, purchase a raffle ticket. We'll have all the links here with that of how to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one way the community can get involved behind us and help out.
Wonderful.
Great.
And the great thing about that raffle is we're only printing off 500 tickets. So it is a 1 in 500 chance that you win it. So
Wow.
that's
Outstanding.
not a bad chance.
That is not a bad chance at
Yeah.
all.
That's an awesome prize, too.
It is.
Absolutely.
It's one of
all
those
the lakes
things
around here.
Yeah, you don't have to be on a lake to be able to have a wave runner and drop it in one of these lakes and get in there.
And it does include the trailer.
Yeah.
So absolutely.
Even better.
Yeah.
That is very cool. So one of the other things I wanted to ask, so you mentioned sponsorships and such. So we have a lot of business owners that listen to the podcast and such. So if someone wanted to sponsor or to give a donation and such, what are the opportunities for that? What does a sponsorship look like?
We've got a couple of sponsorships still available, some
Okay.
key sponsorships. We have, there's an array of different levels of sponsorship. We have something as low as $500 sponsorship, and we have a sponsorship that's $10,000 if you want to empty your piggy bank and help us that way, which is a great way of dumping in money into the community to help us out. Depending on the level of sponsorship, it would obviously come with some tickets to the game, maybe tickets to the VIP event, different things like that. But we have programs that they're free at the event. They have a lot of our sponsorships in there. We'll have banners at the arena that we'll post for different sponsorships, and then we'll have some things back at the VIP dinner that'll also thank the sponsors for their contributions.
Great.
That is good as well. Because I know, people love to give back to the community. And, there's so many small businesses and such in the county that they like to give back, and they like to give back locally as well to support the people that are supporting them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how many people tend to attend the event from one year to the next? Or obviously you've done this for many years, so.
I would, it fluctuates, obviously, depending on the weekend and whatnot. But generally for the game, we have anywhere from 800 to, I think we've had upwards of 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
We packed out the Brighton one a couple times. And then back at the VIP dinner, we're 250 to 300 that come to that. So.
Okay. Wonderful. And then I know it'll be in the show notes and such, but people can go online and get tickets for that. And obviously to anyone listening, it's better to get tickets early than to try to go to the door because, hopefully you guys sell out.
We hope. That would be awesome to sell out.
Yeah, there is an incentive this year to buy them online for the game tickets. They're $10 online, but the day of the game at the door, they are going to be $15. So there is an incentive for people to go out and get them early and secure your spot there. And then the VIP tickets are also going to be sold online, and we'll have an electronic ticket for them.
Oh, wonderful.
And we should make sure to mention the exact date and time of the game
yes.
as well. So
Saturday, April 5th, doors will open around 1 p.m. 1:30 is the start of that hockey, the high school alumni championship game. The Wings game is approximately about a 3 o'clock start.
Cool.
great.
And do you get an idea beforehand? Do you know which alumni might be showing up, or are you ever surprised or like, oh my gosh, someone that you didn't expect?
Yes, we get a roster from the Red Wing alumni about a week before because that alumni association is probably made up of about 40 or 50 past Detroit Red Wings or NHL alumni members. So they kind of sign up the week before, 2 weeks before. So that week before, we tend to get a unofficial roster, and it could change during the week or sometimes hours before the game starts.
Minutes Every
Yeah.
year. I do the game announcing for it. Every year we get an update. So-and-so is here, so-and-so is here, and we're scrambling to go, all right, okay. But that makes it part of the fun. You never know who's going to show up
Right.
and when they get there. So
Very fun. How neat. And that you've been doing this for so many years now is remarkable. So I imagine a lot of our listeners maybe have heard about it. So this has been a great chance to find out more. But I bet you there's some that maybe didn't even realize this was out there.
No, and we've had a former client that's played in the game, and I know we were doing a transaction with like right around it, and the people that we've talked to that have played in the game, they are so excited to be looking forward to it. Like it's like, you know,
Like this is their Super Bowl, I feel like. The people I've talked to. I mean, it's really...
like I need to get it into shape because this game's coming up.
Yeah. Yeah, I bought new skates this year to play in the game again and have not broken them in yet. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. But yeah, I look forward to it every year. It's something that's been in my heart for a long time.
Good. Well, I'm looking over here. I don't know. You know, I did want to talk a little bit about the Well Church. It is so great that you have gotten behind this and like just jumped in the deep end, and it's made it 16 years now. Mm-hmm. But for people that don't know what the Well Church is, why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, the Well Church started roughly a year before Hockey Night did. So that's how early in the process it was. So it has been great to see what it's become over the last 16 years, Hockey Night as well as the Well Church. We're a small to medium-sized church. We would say we're evangelical, which means we believe in the Bible. We believe in Jesus. We teach from the Bible on Sunday mornings, and we're over at 2376 Genoa Business Park Drive, which people don't know where that is, but it's over by the Trinity Health Building where they're building the new hospital. So we're right over in that area, just off of Grand River. We're a community of people that our mission is to help you bring life to life. In the world around us, we know that it sometimes isn't real life-giving. So we believe that when Jesus said, I come that they may have life and life abundant, that our job is to help you bring that life into your life, wherever it is, whether it's your work life, your family life, your relational life. So how can we help you bring the life that Jesus came to bring into your life? So that's what we aim to do.
Nice.
That is so nice.
Great.
Yep.
And it's nice to see just how much impact you're having on, anyone connected with this event, but then all these other charities that you guys are giving through it.
And if you think of our mission, that's why this aligns so well. We want to help the kids from Shop with a Cop or Torch 180 or Bendix or wherever. We want to help them to bring life into their life. And so one way to do that, when you look at all the different charities, one of the biggest problem they have is funding. Well, we can do something about that.
Great. That's so nice.
That is so nice. And again, you don't have to be going to this event to be able to support these charities. There are so many different ways to give and such, but what a fun thing to be able to go get a $10 ticket if you're early, go watch a great hockey game, be able to see alumni that you've seen on TV out there playing, get involved. Maybe at some point you're actually able to be a player that's out there, because I know that you're able to put in an application to be able to do that. And maybe at some point in the future, you might be the one out there, getting checked by a right wing.
Yeah. Joe Koser, Darren McCarty, all those fun
Yeah,
guys.
who have you guys had in the past? Like, I don't know if you're allowed to name drop, but
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
Joe Koser, Darren McCarty, Mickey Redman, John Ogrodnik, Eddie Mio, Larry Murphy are just some of the names that have kind of been year after year. These guys are coming back. And then after that, it's different guys that have played in different eras. One big name, though, that has been probably part of this for the last 4 years has been Vladimir Konstantinov.
Really?
Wow.
Vladimir has come and been our official puck drop, opening ceremony. We've helped his foundation with some kind of donation to help him as well as what he's going through. This year, it's not official yet, but he's thinking about actually suiting up and getting into his sled and taking one more shift with the Wings. we're working on trying to get that to happen this year. I know he's kind of excited about it, but that's something that might happen this year. Cross our fingers. We'll see how that works out. But having him there, it's been pretty awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very inspirational too.
Yeah.
That is so cool. I can only imagine. Do you guys have a goalie? Who's your goalie that has to see Red Wings coming at them?
Our goalies have rotated very much in the last couple of years. But we have one gentleman that has been playing the last couple of years. He's also on our planning team. And then he'll have some help from a young, I think 18-year-old goalie that he recruited to play one of the periods with him. So
Great.
That's got to be a lot of stress at the same time. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, you kind of have to get your head in the game that there's quite a gap. I don't care how good you think you are. You step out on the ice with these guys that have been retired for whether it's 5 years or 25 years, and you realize that you still can't keep up with them.
Right.
They can score whenever they feel like it.
Yeah.
And you just have to get it into your brain that we're all just out here having a ball.
And
Exactly.
they only allow us to score when they want us to score. So it's kind of like the Globetrotters versus the Washington Generals.
Yeah.
Right.
To be out there and chasing these guys around, it's just amazing. Though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, no, thank you guys so much for coming in. It is such a fun event. We have not been at the event before. We've actually heard about it. We'd love to come and check it out. But for people out there listening, what a fun thing to be able to go to and see, and then be able to give to a great cause. Become a VIP, go to that dinner afterward. I am sure there's some amazing things on the silent auction. Or jump on that website and try to win that Wave Runner, because a 1 in 500 chance is, hey, that's great odds.
It's
Vegas doesn't even have them kind of odds.
right. Yeah. Oh, exactly. Honest to goodness. And the thing is, in terms of, there's always something to do around in Livingston County, but just as something to, especially if you have kids or grandkids, imagine the memories that you're going to make to watch an event like this.
Yeah, it's pretty inexpensive still to bring your family. It's a lot of fun, and you get to do some good with it. So
Yeah.
Yep.
Know that you're sending your dollars into the right place.
Yep.
Makes it great. So in terms of how can people find out more information as well, we'll have stuff in the show notes, but in terms of, I don't know if you have a website or contact stuff.
Most of the information is at thewellmi.com. There's an email address for the hockey event, which is hockeynight@thewellmi.com if you have any questions.
Great. Excellent. We will have all of that in the show notes too, if you're out driving as you're listening to this.
Yep.
But it's been really fun to sit down today and find out more about this event. And I really need to just carve that out of the schedule. I know it can be a busy time of year, but it sounds like so much fun.
No, it sounds like we should head over there and watch the game.
Yeah.
I think you should.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Good time for things. So thank you, gentlemen, for spending some time with us and sharing your cause that you're passionate about with our listeners here.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate your time.
Well, thanks so much. And welcome
Welcome to
Livingston.
Livingston.